dealing with triggers. Now this is an interesting one because every one of us deals with triggers. Like if somebody in our reality does, says, or thinks something that is not in alignment with what we think the world should be like, well, that is a reason for us to get triggered. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. This is Nifty, and here we talk all about mindset and manifestation and making your life more easy and fun. If you're new here, click that subscribe button because I come out with a new episode every week and I would love to have you as part of my community. If you're watching this video right now, you probably got triggered today or a little while ago, and you don't want to listen to any bullshit about what a trigger is or why it happened, how it happened, and all that stuff. Instead, you want to know what you can do right here, right now to start seeing results, to let that feeling of anxiety and unease and uncertainty just pass and just feel at ease. And this video is just for that. If you're dealing with trigger and you want instant results right here, right now, skip past to the part which says dealing with here starts here. It is very simple to understand why we're getting triggered. When somebody does something, says something, or acts in a way that is not aligned with what we think is how things are supposed to be, we get triggered. So the next time you get triggered, I want you to take a moment and think, why are you getting triggered? Because something inside you is not in alignment with whatever is happening. And regardless if it's a good thing or a bad thing, you need to know that the trigger only lasts for as long as you hold the judgment of what is right and what is wrong. It only becomes something worth my reaction if I give it that power. If I think that this is something that is offending me, this is something that is not in alignment with my morals and values and how the world should behave. Okay, and I want to go about it a little differently than the rest of our videos. And I want to say that triggers happen mainly because of two reasons. Either it's something external in your environment, somebody said something, did something, showed up a way that was offensive to you and you get triggered, or it can be something internal where you know that you are supposed to act a certain way and feel a certain way, but then you don't, and sometimes your actions and your thoughts are not in alignment, and that causes a friction, that causes a trigger. So let's try and understand what to do in both of these situations. So looking at like a broad picture, if this is an external situation, if you are getting triggered because of what somebody else said or did or showed up in your life as, then you need to understand that this is a problem of validation. Right now, you feel like you need to win this person's validation. You need them to look and think at life the way you do, and that is the reason why this is causing you a trigger. So the other day I was talking to my parents and they were talking to me about getting a full-time job and working and getting a PR here in Canada and everything, and my goals and my dreams are, well, they're not in alignment with what they want me to do. And when they keep forcing me for this, it triggers me because number one, it's not in alignment, and number two, I don't want to do it, but they are forcing me to do this. So my thing is, I want them to look at it my way. I want them to see that this is not what I want. Like, I want them to see that this is not the only way I need to be looking at life. This is my life. This is how I look at it. These are my goals. These are my visions. And I want you guys to be on board with this. So obviously my parents did not agree to that, but so I had to find another way, which is being okay with disagreement. Most of the time, why triggers happen is because we do things for other people expecting that one, they would validate what we're doing as right, and number two, to not have a disagreement, to not have that friction. But you need to understand that sometimes you just got to put yourself first and you got to create some distance and some boundaries. And if that means saying no to people, if disagreeing with something they say and just drawing the boundary that you do not want them to cross this, it is what it is. You have to do it because you are prioritizing yourself. This is your healing era. This is when you learn to deal with your triggers. You don't just put them in a box and put them aside. Instead, you have to learn to deal with your triggers. And that means being okay with them not accepting your opinion and you being okay with their disagreement. Okay, now let's come to the other side of the story, which is the internal triggers. So I thought a lot about this, and I think I could come up with mainly 2 reasons why this happens. The first one is you are not honest with yourself. Oh my God, I don't even know how to explain this because this is so common. Like, you see so many people, even on the internet, who show up a certain way, who try and put this act to make people think that they are the certain way, but internally they're not. Internally, they feel differently, but they think that, oh no, this is how I need to be showing up, so I cannot be true to myself on the inside because then that is not right. Well, let me tell you something. There is no right or wrong in this universe, and everything that you think is right or wrong is rules that we have made up to make sure that we survive as a species, okay? This is something that I have personally learned in my growth and self-healing journey, that you just have to be okay with what is. If you're in your whole phase, it's okay. Just embrace it completely, 100% embrace it. Be okay with whatever is happening because there is no right or wrong, baby girl. If you want to date a guy for money, if you only want to date a rich guy, that's okay. You are not a gold digger. You just want what you want. And this is something that I had to embrace too. So being honest with yourself helps you understand a lot of the reasons why you're getting triggered. Like, I used to have this. Like, I had a friend who had a boyfriend who would provide for her, protect for her, buy her all this nice jewelry and everything, and they looked like they were in a good relationship. And I was in a relationship with a guy at that point where we were kind of in a 50-50 relationship, and I would also like pay for him at times and stuff like that. But I would always feel so resentful towards this girl, and I didn't even know why. But it was later in life that I realized that the reason I was so resentful towards this girl was because she had it. She had the guy who was willing to provide for her, protect her, and give her everything. And here I was in a 50-50 relationship, and even though I told myself, I convinced myself that I was okay with it, well, I could only put up that facade, and I could only lie to myself for so long before I discovered that I was not okay with it. So being honest with yourself is going to be a big game changer when it comes to dealing with your triggers and even understanding where the triggers are coming from. Because if you keep lying to yourself that you're okay with the situation as it is, you will never realize why you were triggered in the first place, because you're like, oh, this person lied to me, but I'm okay with lying. Then why am I getting triggered? Baby girl, maybe you're not okay with lying. So it's the moment for you to sit and think, okay? And another big reason why I see people get triggered, especially when you're on your manifestation journey, because we're trying to get somewhere that's not here. When you're trying to manifest something, when you're trying to change your life and make quantum leaps, we are all chasing an end result. And sometimes when you're like too invested in the process and when you don't like your reality at all, I have seen that many people, they try to get somewhere that's not in the here. Basically, they're manifesting getting somewhere else, and their mind is either in the past or it's in the future, but they are not present in the moment. And this causes a lot of triggers, because when you're in the future and when you're visualizing and doing all the work, it's great. But when you come back to the present and you feel like, oh my God, I don't have anything, well, that is a reason for you to get triggered. So try to find happiness in the present moment. Try to find reasons to be okay, to be happy, to enjoy, to cherish life right here, right now. Because if you cannot enjoy life right here, right now, you will manifest the future you want, and you will still not enjoy that life right there, right then, because you are not happy in the now, okay? So learn to be happy in the now, baby girl. Okay, so if you are currently going through a trigger, first off, I want you to look at the bigger picture of things, okay? Stop fixating on this one thing that is causing you so much tension and anxiety and unease, and just take your focus away from that for a second and look at the bigger picture. You are here on this earth for a very limited amount of time. And do you think this problem that you are fixating on right now is going to matter 7 years from now? The answer is probably not. And you need to remember that nobody cares about your life as much as you think people do. Only you care about your life, and everybody that you know is going to die. And everybody of us, every single one of us is going to die one day. So this problem that you're thinking about is not that important. I know it sounds mean, but it's true, girl. Like, you being here, using your precious time and energy to fixate on this problem, these circumstances that you have could literally change in an instant, okay? So stop fixating on what is wrong. Instead, take your attention, take your focus, and focus it on something else. Remember that it is all always happening for you. You are the center of the universe, and the only reason you are going through this trigger is a chance for you to sit and understand why are you getting triggered. Every time you get triggered is a chance for you to sit and understand where you need healing. If you were not traumatized by something in that incident, you wouldn't get triggered. So this is a chance for you to sit, take a moment, and see how the universe is trying to help you heal. Okay, and I get it. Sometimes you get triggered and you want to take an action right here, right now. You want to do something, you want to explode, you want to do the craziest shit you can ever do to get back at this person. But before you do that, take a moment and ask yourself, what is more important to me right now? My peace and my sanity, or taking revenge on this XYZ character who is literally just playing the character in my story? Do you want to be the protagonist of the story, or do you want to be the villain who goes and does stupid things? This is a moment for you to again think, what is your priority? Is it peace or revenge? And if you're choosing peace, good for you. If you're choosing revenge, baby girl, that's another trigger you need to work on. Now that you know where your mind should be at, let's talk about some of the techniques that you need to be doing in order to deal with these triggers. So the first one is deep breathing. And I know it's very basic, but trust me when I say this is a life changer, because breath is life. Like, you cannot live if you do not breathe. And when you do a controlled breathing, you are literally calming down your heartbeat, your nervous system. You're literally telling your body that all the cortisol in your body does not need to be there. Everything is safe, everything is secure, and everything can come back to normal. So don't take this lightly. When you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling triggered, just be there and take deep breaths. Just breathe in and out. You don't even have to do anything crazy. Just focus on the breathing, take deep breaths, and this will literally calm down your entire nervous system. Number 2, and this is my favorite one, is EFT tapping. If you don't know what EFT tapping is, it's called emotional freedom technique. This is basically based on acupuncture, but also calming the nervous system down. And EFT tapping is great to just calm yourself down. You say affirmations while you do the tapping, which really helps calm everything in your system. This is one of my favorite dealing with trigger tricks. I'm on YouTube and search up whatever it is that is triggering you right now, and you will find an EFT tapping for that. Are you looking for self-love or money, trust, anxiety, whatever it is that you're looking for, just type that in on YouTube and you will find an EFT tapping video on it. Number 3 is physical movement. So you need to understand that emotions, they are kind of like a habit. And one of the most easiest ways to break the emotions, and when I say emotion, I mean the emotion of a trigger, is to physically move your body. If you're sitting down, just get up, walk around, go for a walk, go for a run, dance it out, shake it out, do whatever you have to do, but understand that moving your body is literally moving the energy that is in your body, and sometimes just getting that stagnant energy off of your chest is what you need to be doing. Number 4, distractions. I wouldn't say this is the best one, but this is definitely something to talk about, because when you're going through a trigger, it's obvious that you don't want to be feeling what you're feeling in the moment. And sometimes that means drinking some alcohol, going out with your friends, having a good time, playing some video game, watching some Netflix, binging, eating, whatever it is, for a short period of time. Especially if you see that you don't have the motivation to do anything else, just distract yourself. Wherever your attention goes, your focus goes, is where life is expanding and manifesting. So if you don't like this trigger, if you don't like this situation, this circumstance, take away what is feeding it, and that is your energy, your focus, your attention. Take away that power and that thing will die out. Starve it of attention till it dies. And if that means getting yourself distracted for a bit, baby girl, go do it. Number 5, positive self-talk. I mean, I think this is very basic, but I feel like when we're getting triggered, when we're going through something, is the time when we beat ourselves up the most. And this is the time for you to reinforce some positive self-talk. Maybe this means just going there, standing in front of the mirror and just talking to yourself, like just giving yourself a pep talk. Maybe it's journaling, maybe it's talking to a friend and just finding a support system. Whatever it is, be sure to lean towards the positive end of things, okay? Do not focus on the negative. Even though everything is going wrong, even if you're talking to your friend, don't necessarily tell them all the bad things that's happening. Try and work towards a plan to get out of what it is you're going. I know as girls, we like to talk and tell each other about what we're going through, what we're feeling, all our feelings and emotions. But sometimes you need to know that some triggers can only be dealt with if you know an action plan of how you're going to deal with it, okay? And obviously the number 6 is going to be the most common one, that is to meditate and visualize. Guided meditations are amazing. I don't know why people just go and sit with themselves when I say meditate, when you can literally have a guided meditation, because guided meditations are life-changing, guys. Like 10 minutes, you don't even know how it goes, and you close your eyes, you open them 10 minutes later, and the world is such a better place. Does that sound like a fairy tale to you? Because if it does, well, good for you, because that is possible through meditation. So definitely give meditation and visualization a try if you already don't. And that is everything we have for today's video, guys. I hope this video helped you understand your triggers and deal with them a little better. If not this time, next time, be more prepared. And one thing I want to mention is everybody gets triggered, guys. Everybody has traumas. Everybody's gone through something in their past. And if you are using that past as an excuse to not move forward and be your best self, well, nobody is going to care. If you say that, oh my God, this happened to me when I was 5 years old, so that is the way I am and I don't want to change it. This is my hurt self. This is my inner child, blah, blah, blah. Well, everybody's been through shit. Maybe some people have been through more shit than others, but everybody has their own plate of shit. And you need to understand that people are not necessarily going to listen to your story and sympathize with it, but instead, most people out there are going to take this information and use this vulnerability against you. If you're talking to a coach or a therapist, it's a different thing. But if you're talking to somebody who's like continuously involved in your life, if it's a friend, if it's a partner, if it's a parent or whatever, you need to understand that people do tend to use the information they have on you against you in your vulnerable times. And it's not something we do because we're evil. It's just something that we do as humans. So don't overshare your traumas, your triggers with other people unless you think that they can help you out of it. And don't use your triggers as an excuse to hold you back from living the life that you're capable of living, okay? And if you are somebody who's looking to manifest your dream life and you want to speed up your process, then you need to check out my Manifestation Academy, which is MRM Academy. The link is in the bio. Go check it out. I'm also giving out a 7-day free trial so you can try it out and see if this is what you need. If you found this video helpful, do leave a like because this tells YouTube that this is a good video and more people should be watching it. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.